question is, what video game character deserves their own movie? I want to hear your names, your answers, and why you chose your answers. We're going to start with you down, alright?
Alright, so hello guys, my name is Kimmit, and I believe Master Chief deserves his own movie.
I got a round of applause. Okay, why?
First, like, Master Chief's character, like, his backstory is the most complicated and nuanced thing, and Halo's already a movie that you're playing. So, like, if you put that on the big screen and then give us more in depth and finally show us his face, that would be amazing.
Alright, Stitch.
I think Spyro needs his own movie.
Spyro. Alright, and what? And what? Why? Why?
Live action.
I just found out that he already has one.
He does not have a live action.
Spyro,
He has
the
a
Dragon.
show.
He has 2 animated movies and a show.
Yep.
Live action.
Okay, another one. Another one.
We need a live action.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
No. It doesn't even have to be. It's just another movie. It's okay if they already have a movie in the past. It's okay. I'm giving.
Okay.
Alright.
And so I have to say why.
Guess why?
Because it's Spyro. He goes on all these wonderful adventures. Like, imagine if, like, okay, so we already got Peach Dragon, right? Spyro's just the next best thing.
Okay. Alright.
I think Sly Cooper should get the movie.
I've played Sly so long. Why?
I think because he's got one of the best written stories in any current of the original video game characters. It's developed by Sucker Punch, which has also Infamous, which is also won awards for writing. And because it's also an animated game, that it would also fit for children. You can really fit him anywhere.
Okay.
You can make him adult or you can make him
already has a
children.
movie.
Alright, so
Already has a movie.
Yeah,
Let's talk about it.
okay, so we have our answers. We have the reasons. Now it's time for all of you to kill each other. Basically, I want you guys to debate and explain to us why your character deserves to be the next big budgeted video game movie, and why the other two deserve to never have a movie ever.
Okay.
Alright, so 3 minutes on the clock. Let's mash it up.
Okay, so first off, Halo has so many games.
You're allowed to interrupt each other. Oh, wait, sorry.
Okay. Halo has so many games and it's spread across like the story of 50 years that you can literally have like a whole trilogy, not even trilogy, like longer than that, based on movie content.
I'm already bored, though.
You're already bored?
Yeah, you're gonna make a movie about this?
No, hold
Yes.
on, hold on. Can I make a counter argument?
Yes.
I'm a huge Halo fan,
Yeah.
and I have like the collector's editions for almost anything budget.
True.
Okay? They're huge. I would love a Halo movie,
Right.
but they've tried several times making movies and TV shows, and the reason why they can't do it is because you can't tell a story through a character that doesn't have a face. So without a mask, without a face, you can't see emotions, you can't see facial expressions, she's just a robot.
Well, that's not true because they have several Halo movies that they don't show the Spartan's
But
face
that-
and they still work out.
But the thing is that those stories that I know which ones you're talking about,
Yeah.
but they're all told through other people.
But
No,
Spyro...
they're still told through through Spartans, and instead of focusing purely on John, if you focus on his team instead of the dynamic, or if you focus on how the Spartan program was done, which would be more drama filled, then that would be very nice because a lot of people don't even know how the Spartans
So
were made.
like Legends.
Oh,
The
what?
Spyro movie would be just so fun to
Okay,
watch.
but the Spiral movie.
Wait, I do want to hear like why.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's a whole adventure, man. Like, you have no expectations of where it's gonna take you, right?
Kinda. I feel like a Spiral movie will kind of just fall to the pitch track of the December cartoon movie for kids.
Yeah. I feel like the Spiral lore is already too defined, and you can't break free from it to make a movie.
And I think you would also lose, except for the people who actually play the games, you would lose a lot of the audience that are like adults, maybe new to it.
We have a comment from the audience.
There already is a movie about Master Chief and his team growing up as kids. Technically, we have seen his
I've
face.
seen it. I've seen that movie, but like I want to expand it though. I want to expand it because we dipped our toe in the water. Let's put the whole foot.
Alright, so my main problem with Master Chief, I would say yes, yes, and yes, but there is one problem.
What's the problem?
None of the games are actually open. All of them are purely linear. That means the story that you're experiencing as Master Chief, unless you made an original creation, and we know how well those work out for video games.
For sure.
They don't work out very well except for a couple.
Well,
but other than that, a lot of his development, a lot of his like development as a character, starting from Combat Evolved and moving on, you know, he died like 8 times. It's very, very set, so I feel like yes, it could deserve a movie, but I feel like the reception from the fans would be very poor because they would be expecting a very definite setting.
Yeah.
And if the director is not going to go for that setting and try to create original work, as they should, like the movie might be great, but the fan reception will just be poor.
Alright, I'm gonna listen to what he has to say and they have to say, and then no more questions. We're gonna.
More like agreeing for a Spyro movie.
Yeah.
Now, I personally on Netflix, I've seen the Dragonless movie for an animation movie. It's 10 out of 10. And if they did something with that with Spyro, I would receive good views.
Alright, and then you had something to say?
That's my point.
Yeah.
As for Master Chief, I think the charm of Master Chief is that you don't know who he is.
Alright,
Yeah,
alright,
that's
that's fair.
And
Yeah.
also exploring that later on.
Alright.
Yeah, sure.
Alright, so go ahead, resume. Yeah, we never heard of Sly Cooper actually.
So Sly Cooper has a huge cast of characters with huge already deep back lore, and we've actually gone to some of that back lore through the games. But it'd be really interesting to hear what each of the villains grew up as and why they developed as the villains. And then also here, we have an entire lineage of Coopers to go through. And yes, there is a game that goes through some of them, but we can actually expand and go through all of them. Almost like an Assassin's Creed type thing, where they just keep throwing in lineage. Yeah?
The Spyro's a trend.
Actually, I wanted to respond to something the audience member said.
Alright, go ahead.
Which is that we've already gone through so much. The thing is, in the games, there's a lot that the games are linear, but there's a lot that happens in between the games that is not as explored, and also the stories of the UNSC itself is never gone deep into. Like for instance, Oni, the people that control the Spartans, that the whole espionage and background information hasn't been gone into. Of course, we already have Cortana and Master Chief, but like the dynamics between him and his teammates, we see it, but we don't see the nuances of it, and I think that would be really cool. And also just how fleshed out, how much of an impact Master Chief had. And also with the other two, again, I think it runs into the issue that although animated shows are great, personally I just saw like Spies in Disguise and it was great, but I feel like again it falls into the pitfall of it's an animated movie, it would be focused more on children,
Right.
and I think it would have a very limited audience.
Alright, real quick, because we have like 20 seconds left, I do want to hear more from Spyro.
What would you like to say?
No, whatever you want to say, dude. We have 14 seconds, go!
Spyro is an amazing concept that I feel like does not get enough love. So I feel as though if it was brought to a movie, it would honestly give it the chance to be really bring back the nostalgia that we don't get. Master Chief, yeah, that's really. If you're into Halo a lot, yes.
And we're out of time. Alright. No, everyone give him a round of applause for Darren. I think this might be my favorite round. I'm sorry. Super good. Okay. So with that in mind, we heard the arguments. I want to hear your final statements. In one quick sentence, sorry. I want each of you one more time to tell me and convince us why your movie deserves to exist, why your character deserves that movie, why your franchise deserves that movie, and why the other two should never have a movie. Ever. That's just how it is. And if you want, if you guys could tell me like titles of movies or plots or whatever you want to put in, go ahead, have fun with it. So we'll start with slide down, okay? So go ahead.
Do I have to say why I don't want the other two movies also?
Sure. Yeah.
Do I have to, or can I just?
If you want.
If you want. Okay, because I'm like, I don't want to go that far.
What I'm saying is I'm giving you the ability to go that far.
If you're not ready to put him down, you don't deserve to win.
Exactly!
Give me every YouTube comment section.
Alright, let's hear it.
Predetermined story story already written, heavy lineage of stories that we can interweave to, alright? Iconic character, one of the ones that have been featured in multiple games, and a countermate to Spyro. Spyro is actually one of the lowest of the PlayStation recognized characters. Okay.
Damn.
No, you can come up with alright?
No, yeah, we're, in this part, we're not allowed to interrupt them or whatever.
Okay. And then as for Master Chief, I mean, it's a very hard argument because there are already a couple movies out. They're more animated, but I would say that if we're going to focus on Master Chief, it hasn't been done yet, and it kind of cannot be done because, like they already explained, the mystery of Master Chief is that you don't know who he is other than a predetermined backlog.
Okay.
Which kind of played into, I guess you can say, Halo Reach. What made Noble 6 so interesting is that he had a similar backstory to Master Chief, but you don't know who he is.
Also,
and he disappears.
Rip Noble 6, by the way.
Yeah.
Alright, Spyro.
So, okay, yes. Master Chief, amazing. Everybody loves Halo, I get it. And then with the Sniper, that's fun too. Being a thief and everything. But it's not really like, you know what they're both missing? The magic. And you know what Spyro is?
Damn right.
Damn right.
Magic.
The magic.
So that's why you should vote for Spyro. And you know what else has the magic? Static the Aftershock. You can catch it soon.
Blood! Also, please, in the comments, in the description down below this video, I'll put a link for Static Aftershock when it's out. Please, check it out, it's amazing. I make a cameo. Anyways. Alright, and Master Chief.
Alright, so first off, in terms of Spyro, I don't. He got you hard. I don't want to hurt you anymore. And as for Sly, I think that the problem with Sly is that they haven't released anything in about like 5 years, like maybe longer.
Counter argument for Master Chief that releasing.
You can't argue
Like they haven't released something in a minute. The thing is, Halo is fresh, despite we have our own opinions about the recent games, but it is fresh. And the great thing about focusing on Master Chief is that even though you're looking at it, you're looking at it and following him, it's not just about him. Because the whole Halo universe is to explore, and there's so much depth and nuances. And frankly, it's one of the best sci-fi fantasies game genres out there. And there's lore, and there's backstory, and there's so much complicated things happening in the shadows that happen to Master Chief because of Master Chief, with Master Chief. All of that just happens, and you want to follow that and see where it goes. And not only that, but it can span for so many so many movies. And if you want to do something original, you also can, because we don't know everything that happens, because there's a lot of things that happen in the background that are not shown in the games or in the comic books or in the movies that have already been released. So you can just build upon those things even more.
Alright. Okay, we heard your closing statements. Okay, if I may, like personally, if I were to choose between these three movies of what I want to see, like I feel like in order it would probably be, just for my personal preference, Sly Cooper, Spyro, Halo, probably. But with that in mind, argument-wise, because it is based off the arguments, who had the strongest arguments. I'm not going for bias. Okay,
Can I just say that I think he had the best debate?
He had the only
That-
movie. Let's
Yeah, like
No. Here's the thing. And it's because I'm taking away my friendships and bias whenever I judge this game. It's more just me thinking analytical of like who had the best arguments. It is between you and him.
Absolutely.
But as of
Can I
right
give
now,
it in?
huh?
Can I give it in?
I was gonna give it to him anyway.
Oh,
Halo wins.
2022!
With that in mind, I would see all of these movies.
By the way, I have titles for each of your movies. Cavern of the Thieves, Dragon's Jewel, Warzone.
Dang.
God of War! God of War!
Alright, or, huh? No, pick your price and then, everyone sit back down. How much was, it's 502, like, are we gonna kick that at any point?
Keep on going.
You wanna do one more round?
Yeah!